if they decided the league is cancelled for the year, what do you do?
If it carries, like, let's say we go back to 3rd of April and they're not ready to go on and they say, okay, another 2 weeks and then that elapses, they are going to get to the point where they're going to say it's void.
Do you really?
Welcome back to the MVP podcast. My name is B-Man. I'm here with Weezy.
Yes,
I'm here with Sosa, and we've switched up again.
I like this place.
I like it. It's more homely.
This is more homely, isn't
It's
it?
cozy. It's cozy.
So do you know what? I don't even know where to begin. So much has happened this week. But before we do that, I think we should put out like a public notice about the coronavirus that's going on right now, because that's going to be the center of our discussion
It
anyway.
is, yeah, definitely.
We'll just put a link down below, link you to the NHS, and you can find all the information there that you need, because the truth is, we don't know that much. We don't know that much.
The more information that we know, we'll put a link to the NHS.
I think that's the best thing that we can do. I think the one thing that everyone has said is that you need to wash your hands and make sure that you do not transmit too much.
Yeah,
and I think, and at work we had this joke where we don't shake hands anymore.
Don't tell me you've been doing that elbow.
The elbow.
I saw a guy in the video. It's like some guy tried to shake his hand, and the guy does this, and he chases him down and goes, "No, you're shaking my hand."
There's one of and I know this is a football guys, this is a football podcast, right? But there's a basketball team, 76ers. They had this handshake thing where the guy just went.
Oh yeah, I see that.
I thought that was great, but now that that's gone, Sosa, I think you've got something to say.
I did. Guys, first and foremost, if you have any issues, any questions about coronavirus, we'll have the link down below.
Most definitely.
But share the video. If you like the video, like the video.
I think that's like the best introduction ever, man.
Was that Naeem?
Naeem tried to do it the way that he did, but he got it wrong.
Yeah, he said,
instead of saying if you like the video, he said, like the video? Like the video. Technically, that's unliking the video because you can't. So don't just like. Anyway, so Arteta had officially been tested positive, or is it negative? He's been tested positive for coronavirus. And wait, which way is it? I thought when you're tested negative, that's when you have it. And when you're positive, you don't have it.
If you're negative, then you're clear. If you're positive for the virus, then you have it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, if you test negative, if you test positive for something,
that means that you're good.
No, it means you have it.
Do you know what? I want you to check that right now.
I'm not checking that. I know that for a fact.
I want you to check, bro. I'm dead serious,
bro. When I seen
bro.
Sky Sports, I seen Arteta test positive.
Did he? Do you know what? For now, let's not.
Everything you see now, it says Hudson-Odoi has tested positive for coronas.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, and you know what I mean, the basketballers, Rudy Gobert tested positive for corona. So you just see it over time. It says tested positive.
All right, whatever. Okay, cool. I'm okay with that.
Because they're not going to test if you don't have it. What's the point of testing if you don't have it?
Yeah, no, but
they're going to test it if you have it.
I'm sure.
That's the whole point of being testing positive, not.
Yeah. Alright, cool. It's alright, man. It's alright. Anyway, so
we'll cut that for your benefit.
No, we're not going to cut that. No, we're not going to cut that. Absolutely no chance, man. Okay. Honestly, I genuinely thought that was the case. But anyway, so Arteta got tested positive. Hudson-Odoi got tested positive. More times than not, there could potentially be even more football players. Whoever's come into contact with these players.
And
Arteta obviously could potentially have coronavirus. They said that it was more times than not Arteta picked it up from the owner from Olympiacos. Is that what they were?
No, he hadn't been in contact with him. Arteta, it was some of his coaching staff had been in contact with him. Apparently they spent more than 15-20 minutes talking to him, and then obviously they came into the changing room, spoke to Arteta, and then that's where they picked it up. And then Arteta didn't know until Tuesday after his training session. He started feeling a bit. Was it Tuesday or Monday anyway? One of them. He started feeling a bit ill, and then he got tested for it. Then it came out he was positive for coronas. Yeah. So basically, he was passed from the owner to.
It's crazy that it's so far all we know is Arteta. We don't know how far this because the key thing here is that not a lot of people have been tested for it.
Yeah.
Or should I say, not enough people have been tested, because something tells me that it might not just be Arteta at the Arsenal.
Well, they've locked everything off, ain't they? So
I think, and it's not just Hudson-Odoi at Chelsea. They've locked off common training ground at Chelsea. They've locked off Arsenal's training ground.
Do you know what's the scariest about all of this? Is that there's no clear method to sort this out on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So they can do it individually, a couple of people, but it's been what? How many days has it been since Arteta's been said to be positive? Since Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was about Thursday, Wednesday that it was said, right? And the truth is, since then, Arteta, before that anyway, Arteta must have been in contact with quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's just a chance that most of them do have it. But do you know what? I'm sweeping it into a different corner, right? The main aim of the conversation is this: the league has now been cut for 28 days. Or is it 22 weeks has been cut, right?
It's been cut to the 3rd of April.
Until the 3rd of
The Premier
April,
League's
right?
till the 3rd of April.
And the Brighton owner said that he believes that's going to be even further than that. There's no way we're going to meet that deadline. But we're gonna move into a world of ifs and buts.
Yeah.
Let's say, what would we do if they decided the league is cancelled for the year? What do you do?
Void it.
So you're saying it should be voided completely?
Well, yeah, otherwise you leave yourself open for so many litigations. You'll have, like, the Premier League will have lawsuits coming out of everywhere. So, I mean, okay, who do you relegate? Who do you promote? Who do you give Champions League spots to?
I think my answer to that is you have the promotions, but you don't have the relegations. And then next season you account for that by relegating more teams by the end of it.
Okay, but then someone like West Brom and Leeds have just gone through. They play, what is it? They play 42 games, Championship.
Yeah, something like that. They played a fair few.
They played like well over 30 games.
Yeah,
and they're the top 2.
I know, but they're saying that both teams should go up, and that whoever's in the hunt for
Fulham's
that
only
playoff.
Fulham's only 6 points behind Leeds, so in second.
I know.
Yeah, the thing is, there's too many games left. Because if it was clear cut and like they'd already mathematically were safe then or mathematically were made it, then there's no argument. But because the maths don't check out, we can't just say, okay, those are the teams that are going to make it. Same with, and I hate to say it to Liverpool fans, I know you guys have 2 games left to win the league, but mathematically, as stupid as it sounds, you've not won it yet, and that's the key thing. Like they same with teams like West Ham and teams that are looking at relegation battles. Like
because Aston Villa, for argument's sake, bottom 3.
Yeah.
They're, a point off, like the team that's in 17th or 16th or something like that.
Yeah.
But Villa have got a game in hand. Mm-hmm. So now if you say to Aston Villa, you're going down, they say, well, they played more games than me. Why am I going down?
But that's the point that I was trying to make, is that you don't relegate anyone.
Oh, you don't relegate anyone?
You don't relegate anyone at all.
Okay, then how do you sort out Champions League spots?
I say cancel Champions League altogether next year.
You could do that.
Because the truth is...
money's not allowed that.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
But,
dude, we're talking about people dying here.
True.
Right? We're talking about people dying here. So I don't think they're going to lose money regardless. Premier League teams right now are losing millions and millions and millions of pounds. Because not only do they... I don't know if they've put in place paying their staff members, who obviously have a living to make, right? So especially the part-times and stuff that come in to do like stewarding and stuff like that. I don't know what they're going to do about that. But the argument is, if there's too many, there's too much, there's too close. So let's say now Man City is meant to not be making the Champions League next year. And there's about 4 teams that are in the race right now to actually make that spot. There's no way that as it stands that you could distinguish between any of them. Impossible.
Yeah, you could say
who goes? Is it your Sheffield United, your Man United? Is it your Wolves? Is it who could? That's why I'm saying if the season gets cancelled, right? If the season gets cancelled, there is no way that they could say, well, top 4 teams are the only 4 teams to go when it's been such a close race. They should cancel the Champions League next year and just reset it, or have like a European friendly tournament of some sort where they pick some of the elite teams to just come and play with no strings attached or anything like that.
Can I put a spanner in your works? What about if they instead of cancelling it, they just delay everything?
What do you mean delay?
They delay it till the summer, and then they cancel the Euros.
Right, do you know that?
But what do you mean by delaying? And
so there's how many games? 10 games left in the season.
League. Well, some teams have got 10. Some have got 9.
There's about 10 roughly.
Arsenal,
so
Man City.
So you're talking 10 weeks of football.
Yeah.
What if they delayed that for July, August? If it gets to that point where it can get to July,
they're not saying this thing is peaking.
During that time, in 10, 14 weeks, that's when they said that it's going to peak.
At this point, are we going to have... Because if that's the case, and then this league gets cancelled, and then the peak of it happens during July, August times, it's going to delay the start of the next league.
But that's what they're talking about as well. But remember, this was just the first if. The first if was, what if they cancel football altogether and say this season is gone? That's why I just wanted you guys to just have an input on well, what do you do about Champions League? Should Liverpool be considered champions? What do you do about relegations and promotions? What do we do about all of that, right? So the next what if is, well, what if they manage to, let's say it gets sorted out in the next month, yeah? Let's say it gets sorted out in the next month.
It'll be behind closed doors every game.
Then every game, that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
Every game will be behind closed doors, yeah.
It's really sticky, this, you know.
Yeah.
It is. There's no one right answer. Someone is going to be upset. Someone's going to be upset.
In all honesty, though, with it being behind closed doors, yeah, the games will be flat. There'll be atmosphere watching it, and that will be flat from TVs and whatnot. And yeah, there's no fans, but hey ho, do you know what I mean? And like you said at the beginning, there's lives. You know what I mean? Lives are on the line. So if it means in the summertime or in about 10 weeks' time when they say it's going to peak, then yeah, as long as they get the league done in that sense and they make their money, because at the end of the day, I think the way Britain is moving is. Money's the main priority first.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to get into the politics.
No, I know you don't want to get into politics, but I'm just saying in general, the way it's moving is like, do you know what I mean? Money's the...
The one thing they don't want to do is have, like, everything just stop. They don't want everything to just stop on a dime, because that's just going to cause more panic.
Yeah, mayhem.
It's going to cause more mayhem. It's going to cause more delays. So they've decided, you know what, let's just put everything on ice for a hot sec. Just carry on as normal. Like they say with Britain, keep a stiff upper lip.
Yeah,
stiff upper lip. I'm not going to words out.
But I genuinely believe though, if it doesn't... I think
stiff upper lip.
The most obvious one is to avoid the season.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I genuinely don't think...
I think that's the last case scenario. But the truth is, if it spikes, and I don't know if you guys read the news, but today we're recording this on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So I just need you guys to know. So we only know what's happened up to now. So if anything would happen on a Sunday... when we drop, most likely we'll drop this. So if anything was to happen between Saturday night and Sunday afternoon, we have no idea, right? Yeah. But as of now, the number of deaths actually doubled from yesterday, right? So if that trend was to continue, then you have no choice. There's absolutely no argument to be had that the season should be cancelled. Even if, like we said now, it's the last resort. But if more and more people are dying, then there's no other option but to not create mass gatherings, not to allow the spread of this virus. And if it gets avoided, the conversation that everyone is having is what should happen next. That's the tricky part. That's why I said any European competition should get cancelled altogether.
So like basically, who gets the league title?
That's my only thing is, right. The thing is, the way that I see it is, if it's a void season and they say there's not going to be a relegation, but we'll promote these teams and whatever, then I don't think we should single out Liverpool and say, but do you know what, you guys have been fantastic, so we should give you the title.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my argument is let's be honest, this title was done. Let's be honest. I know you said mathematically, it's done.
True.
It was done.
True.
It was done a long time ago, and they've had an absolutely amazing season. To then snatch it away from them the way that it might do is
it would be unfair, but there's like
it's like a can of worms, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? If you give them the title,
like it's
then everyone else, then now you're looking like lower leagues.
Yeah.
Now other teams are like, well, we're at the top. Yeah, it could be, and more times than not, I'm pretty sure that all the leagues below us are all a lot closer.
Yeah, they probably.
To then say, well, we gave it to Liverpool, so we're gonna have to give it to who's top of Championship now?
Leeds. Is it Leeds or West Brom?
I think it's Leeds.
But how many points?
Not a lot, not a great.
So imagine that. So you just end up, please, you can check, right? Then, like you said, it's just gonna open up to a lot of teams complaining, and there's gonna be a lot of issues in the matter.
Yeah, and like Sky Bet Championship, like Leeds are the top by 1 point. And then
imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Do you know what? I don't want to say. I don't want to be the one to say that was something this or that should happen. I'm just trying to.
Is that going to put an asterisk though next to now? Let's just say they void it. And
absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance.
Because the league never finished. You weren't mathematically champions.
Yeah, but we that have experienced it. Maybe in 20, 30 years' time, people might argue and say, it's kind of like the argument where Messi won that first Champions League.
Yeah.
Did he really win it though? Like I always used to say that. Like, did he really win it though? That wasn't his team. It was part of the squad. He didn't really win it. So when you have that Messi Ronaldo argument, it's like, oh, you give Messi that first one. Some people say yes, some people say no. I'm more on the no side.
If you look at the stats though, just look at the league table right now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I go tell me they didn't deserve the league.
Exactly.
No, they deserve to win the league.
Go tell me they didn't deserve
15
it.
points.
I'm just saying with the Premier League, what they're looking at, they're not looking at it as simple as did they deserve to win. They're just looking at it as if to say, well, if you give them the league title, then other teams are going to be like Champions League spots. Do you know what I mean? And promotion and other teams.
Well, that's the thing. If they do that, if they cancel
that's
it,
why I think they will force it through.
Will it be a case of like, say, Champions League? I know you said that. Imagine Champions League being cancelled, but imagine they decide, you know what, we're going to set up Champions League again next year. Yeah. Does that mean then the guys that were Champions League spots from last year
keep their spot,
automatically re-entered again?
I think that is probably the best thing I've heard so far.
Yeah, but then what will Leicester do? Leicester
doesn't matter. But if
the league's a void,
only if they void everything.
So if they void everything, you can't appoint a champion.
If they void everything, meaning that this season never existed, then I say absolutely amazing. You know what? Restart it. We're restarting the whole year. Let's go. And then you'll have your Champions League, and then obviously the Europa League teams will just be in Europa again.
I think that is the easiest way, where they don't leave themselves open to lawsuits and things like that. Because they'll say, listen, this was like...
Everything's a wash.
Everything's a wash. This was where lives are on the line. It was an epidemic or whatever. And then, do you know what I mean? It's out of our hands. But if they start like saying, oh yeah, we'll give them the title and then you can have fourth spot, this and
you start to muddy the waters.
Then,
that's a really good idea, you know.
They're going to muddy the waters.
Yeah.
That is such a good idea. I didn't even think of that. That didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah. So
to just literally just go back to scratch. Yeah. But then, how about this, right? The season as it stands, do you know why England hasn't like gone into like a full quarantine yet? When there's Italy and Spain are now like are doing everything they can to try and avoid spread.
No, what I said
is they've got a database, they've got a computer, like the software that based on current trends worked out when it's going to be at their peak, right? And the argument is the reason why England hasn't gone in panic mode is because the argument is if we tell people now you need to self-isolate, schools get closed and all of that, is that we haven't even reached the peak yet. So they're saying the peak is going to be in about 10 weeks. What do people do in those 10 weeks? You can't hold people up in the houses for that entire time. So what they're saying is, and please, if I'm wrong, just comment down below and just kind of correct me, right? But what they're saying is, based on the program that they've got, delay it to get it closer to when it's meant to peak. At least then they know that people are all inside when it hits the peak. So in about, say, 8 weeks' time, that's when they should start considering quarantine. And I don't want to go into the coronavirus or anything, but if that's the case and it does peak at that time, then the season gets delayed, then what? Let's say it gets delayed by 2 months and now we're in November, October. So what do you do then?
I don't know what you do then. I mean, that not only does that mess the league up, but it's going to mess up the World Cup as well, man. Yeah, it's going to mess up so many things.
The next season got to be shorter anyway, because of like to prepare for the Qatar World Cup in 2022.
That's what they're going to have a winter break, proper winter break.
You're going to have to have a proper winter break in you to get used to it.
Yeah, I know.
This is a perfect excuse for them to do something different now.
Yeah.
So they can set up something new for the winter break.
So I don't know. I think personally, if it carries, like, let's say we go back to 3rd of April and they're not ready to go on and they say, okay, another 2 weeks and then that elapses, they are going to get to the point where they're going to say it's void. Because otherwise, do you know what I mean? You're opening up so many different things.
Because it's not getting, let's be honest, it's not getting better. It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse, right? So that 2 week time span that they set now, there's what, a week left of it? Now? Is it until next weekend?
No, there's
the 4th, there's like, there's 2 weeks from now. About 2 weeks from now, right?
From now.
Like, the way it's going is, like...
well, deaths are doubling. In
fact, it's more like 3 weeks.
Yeah, and apparently the Dutch found antibodies to help cure the virus, but the way that works is, that has to be tested so stringently, that can take up to a year.
Yeah.
Right?
And America's saying the same thing as well.
Yeah, and they said that from the start. They said, even if we find something that could cure the coronavirus, is that will take a year to go through the proper process, unless they put in some strange legislation to say, now we're just going to use it, which I highly doubt.
They might give people an option and say there's a risk attached and make it.
I don't think they'll even give that person.
No, they won't. They won't.
It depends if the situation gets desperate, innit? So.
True.
I mean, the rate at how you catch it, and then it incubates, it infects, and then you get ill. Like, it's such a quick turnaround that like once you got it, that's pretty much that's it.
But anyway, guys, I think we should put a stop to it there now.
Yeah. What a great to end on there. Brilliant, perfect.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like so said in the beginning, if you like the video, subscribe, share it. There's been a massive uptick in our Instagram and our Snapchat and all of that, Twitter. So thank you so much for that. And we'll be back again soon, right?
Yeah.
So
Look after yourselves.
Peace.